happiness be separate from suffering disability. I will still them in the still answer past perfect complete precious Buddhahood. Dalla Damvara Zebedra, Nobara Zebege, Darba Dam Dam Jen Jembala Barda Jubara Zeba Dam Je Zora Zebe, Mananga Danyam, Simjin Dam Je Dewa Dan De, Dongara Dangra, Yurda Lana Me Bayan Dabara Zobe Zanjo Rumbo Je Dobarasa. The Santra achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Under death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kanduru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the Mandalas or Yadams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and the Dhamma Gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Antra in the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddhas, I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As Buddhas embrace the enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, to for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta and applying myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they liberate from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faith for mind to all Tathangatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reaching the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samdup prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I posted to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. Each atom I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas, thus all space filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing a great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all the Buddhas I make offering of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands of music, anointing oils, manifesting light, and different ground incense. Make offering to the fine garment and the purple and the purple for the highest moon mirror and the orange the most beautiful way. Visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith. To all Buddhas, posted to the Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of great Bodhisattva Samadabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas and the 10 directions of great Bodhisattva and the Pacceka Buddhas. Those have attained Aharaship, those have entered the path of Aharash and all other beings. I request all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest way of Dharma. As the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions, leading them gradually to enlightened states. Supplicate those Buddhas and passing to present one to living long as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit the beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment or sentient beings, all these are dedicated. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water and stirred with the flowers. It is adorned with the mirror, the spirit mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. Asa Buddha fed for it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness as the Buddha fears. To the Lama who possesses the Trikayas, I offer the altar in all the sacred offerings with my body, wealth, and all that is visible. Please grant me supreme realization and enlightenment. Om Guru Rinam Mendala Dasavarana Samaya Hom. I call refuge on the name of the Lord. You who have provided the 3,000 words. You are the victor, Vajradhara, widow adored. I bow before Father Jiti Sungong, continue laughing with no one but you. Compassion even grant your blessings. Despair darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize and liberate the nature of the mind. Please turn the way of Dharma of the true way hackers and the combination according to this position, the likewise mental capacity of sentient beings. Long press to Manjushri, we do Tibetan. Ganga Lodi Dinye Dandaran Yadaran Namdai Razar Wajinye Dongen Jijin Zizar Nije Dogan Longwang Zengan Dai Zipe Zonrai Mare Mendon Dongare Jize Rozo Gen La Peche Tarze Yen Lai Zhuye Yandin Zong Ro Tar Ro Nyemong Yen Long Leje Jado Donze Mare Menser Dunghara Nyuge Nye Yonze Rada Nam Done Dajen Sabjen Dar Yonden Lezo Jorze Ke Jara Jadan Yonye Jen Dalo Mingser Cholan De Yongara Bazana De Yongara Bazana Yongara Bazana De Yongara Bazana Yongara Bazana De Yongara Bazana De Yongara Bazana Wangi Shorama, 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 Wangi Shorama. You who are the perfect, beautiful body, those flame of wisdom blesses, and dispel the darkness of worldly ignorance, are posted before you in the present Manjushri. Yun egelen jangwa bo ye she do me rab dem ba jide de mo men zarwa jambar yang la zan zar do dong ge do je ja je re zan dong yin je me de je bon jong ba ser je lam bo da bre ji be Joje jarbe jala zorwan de dorjen janjen de lo naroda marbamel Joje gombo ba modu ba jarwan de gombe gaju lama namla zorwan de romen jije yenje bodan Song San Jie Gen Jie Ngo Wo Nie Ran Zhen Jie Ge Ngo Song Dong De Da Wei Lama Nam La Zo Wan De Hello everyone. Ready everyone ready? Hope you remember yesterday where we stopped. We finished the 6 parameter. So no uh, today is okay. Thus, I think yesterday we finished 6 parameter, right? And the last is perfection wisdom. Perfection wisdom refers to recognition of absolute nature of reality just as it is, and knowing the truth. Nature is called that's the highest actually wisdom, perfection. Then These six parameters bring to the two categories, aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. So bodhisattva's path is six parameters. Six parameters bring to the two categories. Aspiring bodhicitta, first, begin the moment we have rise to supreme bodhicitta. When rising, like, bodhicitta rising in our mind is called supreme bodhicitta. Moment we give rise to supreme bodhicitta. From that point onward, aspiring bodhicitta encompass all the intentions we have for benefiting others through our body, speech, and mind. The intention we have for listening to the Dharma and contemplating its meaning, meditating, drawing retreat, and so forth. So that's all is called aspiring bodhicitta. Aspiring bodhicittas, then see, like when you wanted to listen and teaching, is actually, before you coming in the zone, is called aspiring bodhicitta. So you're before, like, we are into the zone before, when you see the information about for Dharma, this instruction teaching is coming. So then you say, I'm going to receive this teaching. So then that is called aspiring bodhicitta. Okay. So then when you're starting that day to until when you are into the zone, that's always called aspiring bodhicitta, listening, teaching. And then, you're thinking about, I'm going to receive this teaching. I want to, wanted to know Dharma and wanted to help something, like, benefit through my body, speech, my others. Long as the intention, idea is into your mind, then that's called aspiring bodhicitta. Anything like spiritual practice. So spiritual, the main point is like want to help other, benefit for others and ourselves. That's, through the practice of Dharma. That's also called aspiring bodhicitta. Then we have this engaging bodhicitta. Then when we actually engage in this action that we attain to do, everything we are actually doing then become the essence of engaging bodhicitta. See? So now you are into the wanted to listen and teaching, into the zone, you're listening. That is called engaging bodhicitta, engaging. Right now you are engaging. And then, if you wanted to do generosity offering, so that is aspiring bodhicitta. When you're doing that action, it's called engaging bodhicitta. So we wanted to, practice six perfection. Wishing, aspiring is called aspiring bodhicitta. When you're doing that, it's called engaging bodhicitta. Then each Dharma practice, all these six parameters actually have to come together. The great way is like have to bring together. If we can only do generosity, no others, then less power. So generosity with, good ethic, kind, like love, or, your good intention, generosity with, that's called good morality. When you're giving, doing things like you're very polite and beautifully sharing for others, it's called ethics, and generosity with ethical discipline. Then generosity with, passion together. When you give generosity, doing things like with passion, and if any difficulty, hardship, give up and help others. So it's generosity with passion. Generosity with joyful effort, happy to giving, happy to sharing, so effort. Generosity with concentration, knowing what yeah, I mean, like sharing things. And in that time, like mine is virtuous deeds, follow the virtuous deeds, and let go the selfish. So it's meditation. And the generosity with then wisdom is like when you're sharing, giving is knowing, is impermanent, emptiness, or true reality. So it's with wisdom together. So each this perfection has six have to come together. Six times six is 36, I think. So 36 parameter have to practice together. Okay, so then that is the core engaging bodhicitta. Like each practice like has all this together, like packet comes have together. So then any actions, so whatever we do through the body, speech, mind, have to bring all these six is together. When you listen and teaching right now, also have this six parameter together. So that's the Patrul Rinpoche he mentioned in the his teaching is My Perfect Teacher, something, the book is a very famous one. Famous means like very useful and very easy to understand and truly benefit that book. And he shared there is listening teaching has six perfection. So that's, whatever we do, anything, practice Dharma, have to bring to six perfection together. Then engaging this intent to do everything we are actually doing, this become the essence of engaging bodhicitta, otherwise known as bodhicitta in action. So this bodhicitta has usually two different levels: aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. And then the positive quality that issue from cultivating bodhicitta in this way are numerous. All these enlightening quality sources of bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, no one can enlightenment. In the immediate future, one who cultivates bodhicitta bring happiness and well-being to beings in the world and purify their minds of all obscurations. So then bodhicitta, brings us future our life is cultivate bodhicitta, brings happiness. All the happiness sources of bodhicitta and well-being to beings in the world and purify their mind stream of all obscuration, our mind obscuration, or like five afflictive emotion. The bodhicitta can purify all this our the bodhicitta can purify all our obstacles, body, speech, mind, all obstacles. As we understand them, are no other than the manifestations or embodiment of bodhicitta. Without this, even if we try to practice the development and the completion stage of unsurpassable mantrayana. So the point is like through bodhicitta, then who has bodhicitta or enlightening qualities rising. Without bodhicitta, it's then not any possible to rising. Even you practice Mahamudra, practice engaging with Mantrayana, like Vajrayana teachings, practice Yadam deities, it's not possible to, waking Buddhahood. So that's the reason, is all enlightened beings. Source is bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. That's the reason, many masters like all talk about the bodhicitta. The reason is the way is also easy to know because why we are stuck in the samsara due to the selfish, self-grasping, thinking about all the time our own benefit. So that's the reason we are in the samsara. The Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are only thinking about others. So generate bodhicitta. That's the reason they liberate from the free from samsara. Then Buddha Shakyamuni also mentioned, like he is same as us, first in the beginning, ordinary people. Then he generated bodhicitta. So Buddha is enlightened. And all samsaric beings only thinking about our own benefit. That's the reason still in the kept going samsara. So bodhicitta intention slightly like into our mind stream, and then we break this many samsara karmic imprints. So that's why it's bodhicitta is the very, another level is like very powerful, destroy so many, eons, samsara karmic imprints, purify karma. So that's why, without bodhicitta, even practice yidam deity also incorrect. So deity is like form body of a bodhicitta. So when we wanted to practice yidam deity, we have to engage in bodhicitta. Then visualizing deity's form is then we have the essence of the enlightening beings, essence of the practice. So that's the reason. Without bodhicitta, it's not possible to awaken Buddhahood. Therefore, after giving rise to relative bodhicitta, we must apply ourselves to the awakening atomic bodhicitta. Then this brings to two categories again. Right now, what we're talking about, engaging bodhicitta and aspiring bodhicitta. So then another way to sharing is called relative truth bodhicitta and absolute truth bodhicitta. Relative truth bodhicitta, we have to, apply ourselves. So now, right now we're doing applying bodhicitta. We must apply ourselves to waking of atomic bodhicitta. Like then, waking atomic bodhicitta, relative bodhicitta is cause, atomic bodhicitta is a result. So we have to apply engaging relative truth bodhicitta. Then relative truth bodhicitta, result is arising absolute truth bodhicitta. So that's the reason. Then here is even though one may have a waking compassion and bodhicitta, one may not be able to dispel confusion about how to practice and meditate properly on the path. So what we share is like relative level bodhicitta so far. This first, two like first two section, like for Dharma, first two is more relative level bodhicitta, but then this second verses is the bring to relative bodhicitta, absolute true bodhicitta together. Absolute true bodhicitta is not adya, is like in this, within our conceptual level. Something, intellectually or, listening, teaching, you intellectually investigating, cultivating or meditating, anything like beyond in this, in the worldly adya, relative level adya. So that is called absolute truth. So that's the reason we share already part of relative level, but now it's going into the more, absolute truth bodhicitta. Absolute truth bodhicitta, we have to first analytically have to approve, using logically and knowing what is right, what is wrong. Otherwise, we say absolute truth. You don't know what means absolute truth. So now it's going into more engaging, like investigation, like, intellectually, philosophy, approving absolute truth. Is right now what we're seeing, perceiving is delusion states. And what right now what we think is something is a truth is when in this teaching right now is approving what right now we're seeing things, something truth is not right and not truth. So that's information is coming. Then this section is more harder and harder because go to more intellectual way. Okay. Are you ready to listen that? I hope so. Then go into this category, we have to go through many different philosophical systems. You know, so reason is like we don't go through different philosophical systems. We don't know what others right or wrong. So that's why we have to prove this Maya Minka, or emptiness means it's truth. That's what we're going to sharing here. I know. Even though one may have awakened compassion and bodhicitta, so this bodhicitta is like relative level bodhicitta. One may not be able to dispel confusion. It's not possible to also dispel confusion. Confusion is like, we don't know really truth. What is truth? And so many different philosophical systems or so many different religions. So you don't know what is really right, is wrong. So that's the reason in this, helps you dispel our confusion. Without knowing this, cannot be dispel our confusion. So bodhicitta, so far what we share, good intention, doing something good intention, wanting enlightenment, and we wanted to reach enlightenment, wanted to have other beings. And that's the reason we're doing something. That's called relative to bodhicitta. Absolute is not that idea. Absolute true bodhicitta means you really knowing truth. So Vajrayana teaching usually we say like our ordinary body, ordinary speech, ordinary mind is kind of like no truth, fake, and then truth is our enlightened body, enlightened speech, enlightened mind have to discover truth. We have that, but we not knowing that. So that's a realization is called absolute truth bodhicitta. So now, then this one may not be able to dispel confusion about how to practice and meditate properly on the path without this absolute truth bodhicitta. Enter Gampopa's third prayer from this four dharma. Grant blessing to dispel confusion along the path. So then this is the third Gampopa's four dharma. Dispel confusion along the path. So dispel confusion along the path. So first you think about have to know what the first Gampopa for Dharma. First one is the mind. Our mind is go into the spiritual path. That aspiration. Second is go right path. Right path is we need love, compassion, bodhicitta. Okay, so that's these two is like Hinayana, Mahayana, yeah. And then in this third is dispel confusion along the path. Dispel. So it's go into absolute true bodhicitta and knowing the truth. So we have to dispel all this confusion, like conceptual level. That is going to sharing here. So people who travel for liberation and emanation Buddhahood must diligently apply themselves to the methods for internalizing the pure view of selflessness. So we have to recognize, like when really wanted to reach enlightenment, we have to know this selflessness. that view we have to know. Otherwise, we has a selfish and I and self is create ordinary samsara. And that is not truth. That is not truth, no right. It's fake. The truth is selflessness. So, selflessness, emptiness. That we have to recognize and know. So the not satisfied merely with obtaining food and clothing for this life. So no, and this is more intellectual way. We are take like human beings' body, and human beings not only just life is for food and clothes. Try to get only these two things. Surviving, stay in the in the world. Life is surviving. That's actually reality in here saying not enough. The human being has more better capacity than that. Surviving is like even animals can have ability to do that. So if we only look to surviving in this, life in this world, then not much difference animals. Because not doing something any special, like we have a special human being body, we not using that. So that's the reason here says, so not satisfied like merely, cannot be satisfied with obtaining food and clothing for this life. Then what is we have to do is one should really caution ourselves. Is there on afterlife or not? So we have to really know we have future life or not. Okay. Yeah. That's first we have to really, investigating and knowing future life is there or not. Yeah. Life or not. If there is a future life, then there has future life are the resulting experience of happiness and suffering. And the happiness and the suffering we are experiencing in this present life due to specific cause and conditions. Okay, so now we investigating. Yeah, investigating is like we really think there has a future life or not. If they have future life, then we have to think about right now in this present life. We have happiness, we have suffering. So this our happiness, our suffering has cause. So it's this like due to the cause. The cause. So that's why we have a happiness, we have suffering. Then that's the reason we have to think about it. See, and there has like and the cause and the condition, specific cause condition, this happiness and the suffering. If so, what are there? So what is there like really cause and the conditions? Not only should we have understand of these issues, then also not only like that, only that thinking idea, we should also be thinking about the ways in which we can dispel suffering and engage in happiness. So we think, yeah, my suffering is come from due to my cause and condition negative karma. My happiness is due to like cause and condition positive karma. But then we don't want the suffering, we want the happiness. Then how do we dispel all these causes of suffering? So we have to use analytical, intellectually idea how to dispel this. So think about the way in this which can dispel suffering and engage in happiness. Then what distinguishes the human rise from less evolved life forms in the animal kingdom is that human beings have intelligence and the capacity for creature thinking. Then we think about, like idea and what differentiations like animal kingdom or human beings kingdom. Human beings have a more intelligent capacity for, creature thinking than animals. So animals don't have this intelligent, they don't have this capacity creature thinking. So that's why they're not possible to liberate. They don't not possible to knowing the truth. There can be, surviving in the relative level, but right now we go into absolute truth. Only human being has ability, capacity, intelligently investigating this truth. Not simply content with the fleeting attainment of food and clothing. So that's why, not only just thinking about our like food and clothes, life is just kind of more like we say like I wanted to life just happy joy. So that's actually only really someone thinking about very short thinking. Then they say, oh, I want to be just my life is happy, less suffering, and I want to joy here this life. That is not enough. Who going to practice dharma and who wanted to enlightenment, then that idea is not enough. The idea is too short, very short, small, and the human being must be more idea thinking than that. So then we are looking for something deeper, thinking about how to attain everlasting happiness. So we have to think more deeper level, true happiness. We should rely on the wisdom that realize the absolute nature in order to realize the view of selflessness beyond all extremes. So then that's the reason we have to rely on this absolute truth, not rely on relative level. The absolute truth is the, the everlasting happiness, true happiness. So that's the reason we should rely on wisdom and absolute true realization, absolute nature in order to realize this view of selflessness, like must be destroy or dispel selfish, knowing the selflessness. Beyond all extremes, beyond like exist, no exist, either or neither, beyond all these conceptual ideas. The reason is that without the wisdom that realize the absolute nature, we will not be able to completely uproot the three types of suffering. Reason is, see, if we don't knowing the true, absolute true, we don't have realization selflessness. Then, we not knowing that true, we not possible to, completely uproot, like get rid of all the causes of suffering. So that's the reason. That's why, we must study. Why we study? Because we have to know this absolute truth. If we don't know absolute truth, we cannot, here's already uproot the three types of suffering, not possible release suffering. That's the reason we have to know absolute truth. That's why we have to study first the meaning of interdependence, study the meaning of interdependence, origination, to understand the meaning of selflessness. So selflessness, like, we have to recognize, usually we think we have I and self, then others. then attachment, and then fixation, then for hatred, jealousy, all these emotions rising. So due to that, kept going in samsara. We don't know selflessness. We always think self, is there. So then always we think, I want good, I want best. Yeah. Then they have others. So that's the reason, like attachment, anger, jealousy, ego, all these emotions rising. That's why the main important is we have to go into the selflessness. Have to knowing that realization. In order to understand selflessness, we need certain clarity regarding the subtle and gross level of selflessness as they are presented according to the different philosophical systems. So each philosophy, the teachers apply these different teachings, but some only talk about the very gross level ideas, and then they don't really go to subtle level. Some philosophical system talk more subtle level. So these have many diversity ideas. That's the reason we have many philosophical systems, different philosophical systems. So now I will briefly explain little short here, what these different philosophicals, the different sections here, assertions here. So there are two kinds of philosophy, like two kinds of philosophy, but this is like the generally like two. Of course, they have so many, but the main point is to go to two things. One brings on outlook on life that a person has naturally without relying on religions, study, or philosophical expression. So one is like just like same as regular beings, they don't think about in the philosophical systems any idea. Yeah, just like people, what in the world do people, most people does like that's it. They don't follow religions, they don't study, they don't understand. They just they don't go anything like these ideas, study or philosophical expressions. In other words, this refers to a view a person has when he or she does not study any particular philosophy. See, they don't study anything. No knowing the view and no investigate anything, no follow anything particular philosophy. The other kind is one that change the mind. So change the mind means the change mind is another belief, So then talk about, okay, we talk about different things like, okay, enlightenment, the highest point. Then we talk about many pure lanes or different realms. So become change the idea, change the mind, philosophy. That one reviews after studying and pondering. So you study or you go into that, then you change the ideas. So then that is all the religions is into this category. Buddhist, no Buddhist, any all this like who goes believe something different than this. Right now what we're doing things like something believe something more than that is called part of this second category. So the own example of the first kind, outlook of unchanged mind. They don't change mind anything. They don't open mind. They don't change mind. They only just follow in this life. So is the cause of someone who has never listened to or study nor ponder the teaching at all, and who does not caution or examine anything more deeply. So nothing, any caution for spiritual things, not listening, no study, and no investigation. So just follow normal life. So many like people worldly, like almost majority right now, in this category. This person basic outlook our philosophy is simply the drive to accomplish pleasure and happiness in the present life. So only this is just idea is like that believe only this present life, not thinking about the future life, and only just believe this right now and your pleasure happiness moment. So then religion idea is that idea is not enough because we already talked up there. We are, human being means like more capacity, more intelligent, more creature thinking idea cannot be same as like just animal kind of does. So then that's the second category. Refer to someone whose mind is committed to a belief system based on studying relevant scripture or applying mental analysis. So in this category, like all the religions belong to in this part. See, people, study, beliefs, different systems, and then, the mind or like devotion, commitment go to different ways. Scripture or applying mental analysis. Okay, the second category can be further divided into the classes of non-Buddhist school and Buddhist schools. So the second has then two categories. So of course, many there, but right now we're going to go to in the Buddhist philosophy. That's the reason we say Buddhist follower or non-Buddhist, two categories. There are many non-Buddhist schools. Then they go to non-Buddhist as like so many. But to name a few here, I will just put a few names in this category. These religions are just ancient time, ancient time. The believers. They are the traditions of Vishana, Shivati, Jain, Kapilavatta, and Chavaka. The so here has 5 different religion names mentioned. Okay, Vishana 1, Shivata 2, Jain 3, Kripa Vasata is 4, Chavaka is 5. So this 5 is the like 1,000 years ago, I think. This 5 is the most strongest one in non-Buddhist in India. That time philosophical, like kind of they use lots of logic, I think, debating with Buddhist philosophy, philosophical, like philosophers. So Buddhist philosophers also debating with these religions. Nagarjuna, he mentioned like that. I think he says 360 different religions in India. And he debating all these 360 religions. And then, all these 360 religions bring into this 5, subsumed this 5 idea become. Then these two also go to 2 categories become. The last one, the first 4 mention follow the extreme view of internalism. Internalism means like believe something permanent. Okay, creator. So then that's called internalism. So when I shared the Nagarjuna's letter to his friend, they also mention some, this non-Buddhism there too. So some believe like really creator, permanent. So that all is like first 4 is belong to in this category. The last one follows the extreme view of nihilism. The last one is nihilism, Charvaka. Charvaka is like nihilism. So then all these religions bring to these 2 categories. internalism or nihilism. So then used to during that time, this uh, internalism is more strong. So people think this nihilism is like, really crazy. And they're they don't have many good ideas. So that's why they don't really uh, Buddhist teachings also not that much debating with them. So they don't have a good ideas. So nowadays, this has more nihilisms more. Okay, used to this internalisms more, I think. And then more philosophical, more ideas. So Buddhist philosophers more spend time for this internalism with them, debating with them. So Nagarjuna then he learned all this internalism, nihilism teachings. So he went through all this study, every the philosophical systems, and then he found the Buddha teaching is the truth. So that's why Nagarjuna always mentioned about Buddha Shakyamuni when he wrote the book in the beginning, homage to Buddha, incomparable teacher. He always said incomparable teacher. No one shared before, interdependent. No one knowing that truth. So he has all this knowing these like different philosophical systems, knowledge, study, and he debating with them, and he wrote the book for other the ideas why they're wrong, no right. He has all this and debating like his ideas wrote down the Buddhist philosophy become intellectual way. So then after like all this Buddhist philosopher is followed by Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna is usually we call, second Buddha. Reason is like he bring all the Buddha's teaching is for intellectual philosophy system, science, logically, not just only devotion belief. So that's the reason Nagarjuna he debating all different religions. This all religion bring to these two categories. Okay, traditions of internalistic views generally teach the importance of engaging in moral conduct and abstaining from sin or no virtue, and they have many positive features. So all this internalism, this first four, this religion also has good qualities too. Relative level, Buddha Shakyamuni, this all Buddhists also many associated with this internalism teachings too. Because in the relative level, they talk about all these many good things. It's same, no difference. That's why engaging in moral conduct and abstaining for sin or no virtue. And they have many these positive features, including encouraging the cultivation of altruism and compassion and such. They have all these lots of good ideas too in the relative level. And then also they have some levels of meditation. So they cannot go to reach enlightenment, slightly they're wrong is because they have like this permanent uh, internalism means like permanent, true, exist, the accepting, that's obstacle to liberation, enlightenment. So they cannot break that part. That's why Buddha Shakyamuni, he break that, internalism means like there's something permanent, true, existing. Some people say God, some people say nature, some people say, oh, it's this different believer says self, whatever they say something, it's always believe something like permanent, true there. So then Buddha said nothing is a permanent, true in there. It's all is emptiness. So they cannot they're stuck there, the idea. So that's why the achievement many higher levels, but they cannot reach enlightenment. Reason is because due to that obstacle. So that's the reason. Here says there has many good things. This too. However, they believe in intrinsic. See, and internal self, and in a creator or Lord of the world. See, that believe that, then something, you fixation to that, then due to that, you cannot go beyond, because you believe some permanent true fixation to that. So that didn't break that part. So Buddha Shakyamuni interdependent teaching, interdependent, no this Lord, no creator, no this, word or self, this intrinsic is no exist. So that's the reason, and Buddha teaching is the absolute truth view is like view, truth views become. Okay, then second class. This second class is the last internalism. I will discuss here is the Buddhist tradition. Oh no, this then we refer to Buddhist, non-Buddhist. Okay, so the second is like Buddhist tradition. To belong to Buddhist class 1 goes for refuge from one's heart in the three jewels. So then why is Buddhist, non-Buddhist differences? Who take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and then that is called Buddhist. The purveyor of Buddhism, Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha taught us to abstain from causing harm to other. Then the Buddhists we have four goals. So fourth goal is like, we list here. The first one, okay? First one is, Lord Buddha taught us to obtain from causing harm to other and refute the existence of permanent, singular, forever possessing self. Therefore, that's the generally Buddhist. Generally Buddhist means who take refuge Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and who follow the cause and the effect, who not really accepting selfish, permanent, exist. So then that's called Buddhist. So like here is like you say, oh, what is the difference Buddhist and non-Buddhist? Then you can see here what the difference is. Lord Buddha taught us to abstain from cause harm to other and refuted the existing of a permanent and singular free will possessing self. Then there are four major levels within Buddhism. We have four major different philosophicals. Lord Buddha first gave rise to bodhicitta, and then proceed to gather the two accumulations. So Shakyamuni Buddha, he arise bodhicitta, and then he create two accumulation merit. Two accumulation merit also actually 6 paramitas. 6 paramitas belong to two accumulations. In the middle, he give rise to bodhicittas, and then he create accumulation merit in the middle. And finally, he manifested the attainment of perfect Buddhahood. Therefore, the gathering of the first 5 human disciples. So first teaching, when Buddha Shakyamuni, he enlightened, he shared 5 disciples. He turned the well of Dharma, of Four Noble Truths in Varanasi. Those who follow after the meaning of the first turning of the well of Dharma and who take these teachings are the automatic sermon of Buddha are said to belong to the foundational yana of Buddhism and are known as Shavakas. All this Buddha Shakyamuni shared this first Four Noble Truths. Then, right now think about like Mahayana has Four Noble Truths, Vajrayana has Four Noble Truths. But difference is the Shavaka means they said this is the Buddha's teaching, the truth, automatic sermon. Automatic sermon means the highest level truth, no any other than that. So they believe like that way. But others, like, Mahayana, Vajrayana say, yes, it's Buddha's teaching, truth, but not absolute truth. It's first step. So that's why, Buddha said to belong to foundation yana Buddhism and are known as Shavakas. This is a foundation teaching, Buddhist foundation teaching, but not fully house. Okay, like we build the house, like only foundations. So this Shavakas believe this is the everything. Okay. Then they belong to the two subschools of Vibhashika and Satandrika. So this teaching follow is two schools. The one school name is Vibhashika and another is called Satandrika. These two schools is follow this tradition in the teaching. So nowadays, Sri Lanka, Thailand is very strong, follow this idea. And then, of course, like Mahayana, Sutra tradition, Vajrayana tradition, all has this. Everyone believe this. This is the Buddha's teaching. Everyone follow. But Shavakas, only they say, that's it. This is the Buddha teaching. They don't go any other than that. Okay? So there has reasons for them too. Reason is, like, during the Buddha Shakyamuni time, he shared this Four Noble Truths like based on the cause and the effect. And then, it's meditation practice, or this is more elaborated. And all these teachings become, for foundation teachings, become more popular and more public teaching. Okay. So then Mahayana is more, less students. It's only very high, sharp faculties, Mahayana. That's why not publicly get the teaching, okay? So then Vajrayana, I think that time is like not really human beings. It's Vajrapane, Chinreze, it's Manjushri, so these students. So that's why then there also has a reason to not believe the Vajrayana and the Mahayanas. So example is like one president come to in the one city, and the president talks all this one public talk example, and then every public knows what he speaks, talked, and then he has some special meetings with something they don't know. So like that way, Buddha Shakyamuni, he has like one teaching has all this student. What he says, Buddha Shakyamuni, when sharing the Four Noble Truth, he has all these students together. Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, all these students together. Then the most human beings and this, Four Noble Truth, when he shared teaching is like this, the Hinayana tradition follows. Hinayana like is Telovadan tradition or foundation tradition, foundation tradition. Because all human beings hear this like publicly. And then there has another level of students. There has different Four Noble Truth for the receiving. That's why Buddha Shakyamuni, he share one teaching. There has all this capacity, diversity students. And some hearing Hinayana teaching, some hearing Mahayana teaching, some hearing Vajrayana teachings. So according to the different levels. So now this is like, okay, like followed by our like human being idea. And then when Buddha Shakyamuni, or this first turning where our Dharma is belong to category is like these two schools, Vibhashika and Satandrika. Then in Rajige or virtual peg, during the middle turning of the world of Dharma, Buddha talked the Dharma beyond characteristic to despair of sharp faculties. Beyond characteristic means beyond this conceptual idea. So thing Heart Sutra, we know, like, he shared in the virtual peg. The Heart Sutra, when he shared, there's like many Shavakas heart attacked. That's just like saying, but I don't think true. The point is Heart Sutra, we know like Heart Sutra is no eye, no nose, no tongue, means like kind of like in the relative level we have everything in conceptual idea. And really truly investigate, they really know these things exist, you know. So Buddha sharing is always like absolute truth. So that teaching is called Mahayana teaching. Buddha taught the Dharma beyond characteristic to despair of self-forgetfulness. Those who talk the meaning of that is the atomic sermon, means that's it, you know, that's the Buddha's teaching truth. And follow that are known as Madhyamaka, means Mayamika teachings. That's followers called Mayamika. They belong to the true subscore of Rantong, self-empty, middle way, score, and Yintong. So then in this tradition come into Tibet, become two categories. Right now, you know, like we have like talk about different lineages like Kagyu, Nyingma, Saja, but really into Buddhist philosophy systems, Kagyu, Nyingma, Saja is not the religion, so they didn't talk about much these lineages. Talk about these two different levels, you know. Here is like, okay, belong to two subgroups of Rantong. Rantong is everything is emptiness. You know, even Buddha nature also emptiness. Rantong, self-empty, middle way, score. And then Yintong or other empty, middle way, score. Other empty means like Buddha nature is always there. Other everything is emptiness. So that's why in this Mayaminka traditions become two, you know, two branches. It's this both says like I'm follow Nagarjuna. The both accepting I follow Nagarjuna and Chandrakirti and Shantideva, but the idea is, you know, the different ways goes. This Rantong means self-empty middle way, score, and Yintong means other empty middle way. And you really go to in the Buddhist study this philosophy traditions, then the lineage is not really important topic. Okay, lineage is like, you know, usually people say, oh, which lineage you are, but you really go into the study the Buddhist like school Sheda, and we don't talk about the lineages. Okay, we talk about this like ideas. Yeah, so then this idea also different in Tibetan Buddhist philosophers has different beliefs. Belief means they just say like, okay, this some people say Randong is very important, self-empty. They say other, you know, Yintong, other empties, they don't accept. They have very strong arguing each other. You know, big difference, these two. Then is like we talk about all this idea in Tibetan, you know, Buddhist philosophy idea is very, very difficult to understand these levels. Like, I mean, like lots debating in this category. So the you know, like the different philosophicals. Example like Tsongkhapa is self-empty middle way. And many such a tradition also self-empty middle way. Then other empty middle ways we call Chonang tradition is the biggest one, and the Kagyu tradition has some follows you know, other empty, some follow self-empty. So Nyingma philosopher also some follow self-empty, some follow other empties, dependent, lots there. So then that's the reason has many information, so that just philosophers like to debate, you know, they write the books. Each Tibetan philosopher has some wrote like 60, 70 volumes. Each teacher has like that kind of, you know, teachings. The philosophers just wrote so many commentaries. One topic of this idea is they wrote books, publishing, you know, ideas. So into this idea, and then you really into this idea, become another level. You very hard to get out from that. So you go eating time only thinking about that, and walking time only thinking about that, sleep time only thinking about that ideas. How to debating, where is the finding the informations. The whole life spent for that. Uh, so that's the reason, like we right now you think like we study uh, Buddhist philosophy 10 years, 20 years. It's very, very basic things. This philosophers spend whole life for this system ideas, like debating, writing the books. So the point is, these two many teachers says it's not difference really into oneness. Doesn't matter, other empty or self empty. But long as you're not stuck with internalism, nihilism, it's become these two is one. So anyway, Buddha Shakyamuni, he also teaching us both, kind of both. Another level, Buddha Shakyamuni say every single being is Buddha because have a Buddha nature. So then another teaching, Heart Sutra, say everything is empty. Even Four Noble Truths, like cessation also not exist, emptiness. So that's why I see this idea, it's become starting from, debating. So then I have a book with a commentary, the Gonchek text, Jigten Songgo wrote Gonchek text. And they also have some information put there. So the idea is like, Jigten Songgo's, the idea is Buddha nature, Buddha shared teaching, Buddha nature is there. So that's why it's other empty. We can see other empty middle way. But Buddha nature also itself is emptiness. Not same as permanent, is this, other exist, true permanent exist. So that's why either works. It's another level, very simple way to bring together. Okay, so the point is Tibetan Buddhist philosophers like to debate, like to write the books, and want to whole life spend for that. That's why there's so much, talk about this, like each different ideas explain. Then in okay, so that's we finish it there, I think, today due to time. We finish it here is I think we go a little bit more other better the place. Then Vishali and other definite place means like different area in India at that time. So another is called Vishali and other definite places. During that final turning of wheel of Dharma, and then Buddha said final, the turning of the wheel of Dharma. Buddha taught the Dharma distinguishing professional and definitive teaching to despair of diverse faculties. So he shares so many diversity teachings. Those who talk from that sermon that the automatic teaching is the lane phenomena are only mind belong to Chitta Matri or mind only score. So the last teaching this Buddha turning about is more he focused for Buddha nature. Buddha Shakyamuni last teaching part. But then he also taught many diversity things there. So the mind score, the Chitta Matri is another score. That's it. This is the truth. So that is that is someone that true automate is Chitta Matri, mind score. Those who talk from that summon that the automate is the lane, mind. Those essence is empty and those nature is luminosity, provides all sentient beings, belong to Jintong score of Mayamika. So Rantong self-empty is like second Buddha's teaching is that is the absolute teaching. And Yintong says that this last teaching is absolute truth. Then last Buddha third teaching, last turning of Dharma, where the Chitta Martyring also there accepting that is the absolute truth teaching, and also this Yintong Sugo of Mayamika also said that's the absolute truth. The latter is Jigten Sunggun's position and belongs to the definitive teaching of the third turning of the world. I give a clear explanation of this is in my commentary Gonchek Gondon, meaning of the awakening view of the Gonchek. So have another Gonchek, we have I wrote that book. So there also explain Jigten Sunggun's view is more kind of Yintong idea. And then Yintong, Yintong idea also followed by this, is this is the like who from that sermon that automate is the line mind those essence of empty. Mind essence empty is kind of the same as self empty, And those nature is luminosity. Nature is luminosity. So no Jigten Sunggu main point is here is other empty is only focus for nature is luminosity. Other empty, self empty is only focus to as the all its own emptiness, selflessness, emptiness. So that's why it's Jigten Sunggu kind of he bring together idea, and then our mind is like emptiness, nature. Then that emptiness is also luminosity. No nothingness. So kind of bring two together. We finish here is like this three turning aware of Dharma and with or this force goals. You see, first one is like Vibhashika Satantrika, and then the Mayamika and Chitta Matri, mind's goal. So that's called force goals. The middle way has two different, like self-empty middle way and other empty middle way. Middle way part has two categories or like two difference there. So not due to time, we leave here today. And you finish morning practice or no?
Yes, we finished daily prayers, Khenpo.
So now then go to here is the dedication together. Dorje Chang, the Loba, Naroba, Marba, Malareba, Dharma, Lord Gampopa, Pamotropa, Lord Gompa, please bestow upon us most auspicious blessings or Kaju Lamas. May this virtue may achieve nations by defeating our enemies' confusion. May all who traverse on the ways of bear the order, just in death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta is lying in the precious mind, where it is unborn may they rise, where it is born may no decline, but it will increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Majeshwari, the Vero realized the ultimate state, and as did the Samadhabara, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the Tirikayas, by the blessing of the true one, changing Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit bear fruit. By this virtue collated 3 times by my 7 or beings in samsara and nirvana, and by in the rule of virtue, and may I in the or sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of Guru Digompa Renashiri, who is nation Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until end of the samsara. Om mani padme Om mani padme Om Om mani padme Om Om mani padme Om Ru. So now this fourth Dharma, continue next week. Sections is go to more Mahamudra become into so next week. Okay, so going to most hardest part soon.
Khenpo will do that from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And is that Saturday only or Saturday and Sunday, both?
Both.
Okay, so 9 to 10 next weekend.
9 just could be, yeah. Okay, bye. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.